Welcome back. Cinnabon opened its first bakery in 1985 in Seattle, and ever since, people all over America have plunged their forks through layers of warm, cinnamon-drenched goodness. The Cinnabon brand has morphed into a global confectionery giant with headquarters based right here in Metro Atlanta. Much of the company's recent branding success can be attributed to its current president, Kat Cole. But how she managed to expand her own personal brand makes for one sweet story. Today, Ed Baker talks sugar, spice, and everything Kat in this edition of Executive Profiles.
Kat, thanks for taking the time because I know you never have much of it.
My pleasure.
Bring us back to the early, thrilling days of yesteryear. Let's go back to Jacksonville in your youth, your first job.
My first job was actually working in a mall selling clothes when I was 15, and then I was recruited when I was 17 years old to go become a hostess at Hooters restaurants.
So you fit the MO, but you were more inclined to become an engineer or an attorney?
Yes, so I was still in high school at that point when I was recruited, and my dream was to get my engineering degree and go to law school to become an attorney for DuPont Chemicals. So when they recruited me to go work at Hooters, I thought, okay, this could be cool. I could get a second job, make extra money, save up for college. Little did I know it would turn into much more than that. I graduated high school, still a Hooters girl. Had a great year, my first year in college at the University of North Florida, taking classes. My engineering major was still a passion of mine. And by the time I was 19, I had an opportunity to go open the first Hooters restaurant in Sydney, Australia. And so at 19, I left college briefly and went to Australia to open up my first franchise location, which definitely changed my career and my life. It had not shaken me off of my dream at that point, though, to be an engineer and an attorney. I thought, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Who'll ever get asked again to go overseas? So I flew home, went back to working at Hooters, went back to class, and a couple months later, I was asked to go open the first Hooters in Central America, which was in Mexico City. So I did that and had many other opportunities to open locations in South and Central America, as well as in the United States. And before I knew it, I was flunking college because I had been traveling all over the world opening up these restaurants. My second year, I decided to become a college dropout in lieu of following my passion to open restaurants overseas and continue to work for Hooters.
So then we make the transition to Cinnabon. How did that all come about?
If you really think about my resume up to that point, I was the daughter of a single parent who had an alcoholic father who had dropped out of college and worked for Hooters pretty much her whole life. So on paper, I was a little bit of a train wreck. But in real life, if you gave me your business unit, I'm a sure bet. And I knew that because of my experiences, but I also knew that that wasn't well reflected on paper. Eventually, there were a couple of opportunities that came my way that started my mind really thinking, okay, do I want to spend the rest of my life at Hooters? They've been so good to me. And I'm so lucky to have had the leadership opportunities I got at such a young age, but maybe it will be time to make a change soon. An opportunity came up to interview to run one of Rourke's portfolio companies, which was Cinnabon, within Focus Brands. And so I interviewed, was offered the opportunity.
So let's fast forward from 10 to 14. Where was Cinnabon then? And where are you now? And not just in dollars and locations, but in products.
I come on board as Chief Operating Officer at October of 2010, became president in January of 2011, and we have had 3.5 years of the best year-over-year comp sales increases that the brand has had in a decade. We have had double-digit unit growth. At the same time, we've shown up in places like Burger King and Taco Bell with Cinnabon branded products, and our business development and licensing division within Focus Brands and Cinnabon has launched crazy products that our fans love. Cinnabon vodka, Cinnabon K-Cups for Keurig, coffee machines, Keebler cookies, just really wonderful product extensions with Pillsbury, who's our largest partner. I mean, the brand has proliferated, so much so someone wrote an article and the headline was, Cinnabon is everywhere and there's nothing you can do about it. Marked improvement 3.5 years later, incredible team, stronger franchisees, much stronger average unit volumes, and a portfolio of branded products that any brand could only dream of.
Undercover Boss?
Yes.
What was that all about?
Interesting. So Undercover Boss approached us. I felt comfortable enough putting my neck on the line and the company's reputation on the line to let the cameras come behind the scenes, let them put me undercover, and to go in our locations with no editorial control. I see it when 10 million people watched it that night, but we were so proud of what we had going on that we felt even if the cameras capture the inevitable tough things that happen in a business, an upset employee, an upset guest, a facility that hasn't been repaired, who knows what they were going to capture, we have enough faith in our ability to do the right things for the right reasons that it'll be okay. Being undercover this week, it's hard.
I'm a single mother of 3 girls.
My mom is my hero.
It aired, and we could not have been more thrilled. We changed 5 employees' lives meaningfully, including building a franchise for one employee, spending over $250,000 to change his life.
The book, Small Changes, Big Impact.
Yes.
Which gets a lot of wonderful reviews. What's the book all about?
So Small Changes, Big Impact is a labor of love with my co-author, Nadia Bilchik, and we realized we had a common message about how it's the little things that an individual can do to help maximize their own personal success, whatever success looks like for them, being a more effective mom, a more effective community leader, or a more effective business person. And so the book is about how to maximize personal presence by leveraging physical presence, communication skills, interpersonal skills, dealing with conflict, and presentation skills.
I just have to ask the question, how cool is it to have been a Jeopardy question?
That was so cool.
Fortune's story on Cinnabon President Kat Cole is titled From Hooters Girl to This Desirable Office. Clay.
What is corner?
That's it.
I was actually standing with Vice President Biden and his wife, Jill Biden, at a women's event, and my phone starts blowing up, and I looked at my phone quickly, and all I see are these little blue squares, which are my friends and family taking pictures of their television, sending it to me saying, did you know you were a Jeopardy question? So I guess, you know, definitely a milestone moment that I'll never forget. It's pretty cool. I gotta
tell you, I'm very proud to know you, and I'm very proud to know someone who was a Jeopardy question. I gotta tell you. Congratulations. I can smell the cinnamon in the air.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Kat Cole is just as active in her outreach as she is in the boardroom. She devotes much of her time to a variety of women development initiatives in several African countries.